GoDaddy, a very popular enterprise-focused registrar, has recently come under fire for not really disclosing a breach that has had potential side effects for a lot of its customers. One, in a timely fashion, or two, in a legitimate manner that would want to get that information across correctly to their customers. So, for example, if you head over to their blog page, you can see that there is most recently is talking about some navigation blocks, point of sale systems, but nothing really talks about the breach. So, to find this article about the redirect issues that they were having, I had to Google it and have to find that page. So, heading over to their statement about the recent issues that they've had. In early December 2022, we started receiving a small number. This is damage control, obviously. Just make sure that there was only just a small number of complaints about their website being intermittently redirected. So, apparently what was happening was some of their customers they were typing in their domain and they would get redirected to a phishing site. That is obviously not ideal. So they must have started to have a look at December 2022. So we investigated and found that the intermission redirects were happening seemingly on random websites. Okay. There's nothing ever random about stuff. Hosted on a cPanel shared hosting server, and were not easily reproducible by GoDaddy. Okay, well that obviously causes for some alarm bells to be ringing in GoDaddy, but apparently not. So investigation continued. We discovered that an unauthorized third party had gained access to our servers in our cPanel shared hosting environment and installed a malware that was causing intermittent redirection of customers' websites. So, that is a pretty bad breach. How many people are using their cPanel website? I think at this point in time that people who are using GoDaddy should really think about how they've acted on just this alone. Not only go to the fact that they used to be a pro anti-piracy company. So, let's continue on. I digress. Once we confirmed the intrusion, we remediated the situation and implemented security measures in effect to prevent further infections. Okay. They were working with multiple law enforcement agents. Bog standard, they have to do that. It's a breach. So we have evidence. Law enforcement has confirmed that the incident was carried out by a sophisticated and organization group targeting hosting services like GoDaddy. So, for example, they're probably an APT group that just want to obviously not cause damage to GoDaddy's, because I'm pretty sure that GoDaddy has already done this to their own reputation by the way that they're handling this breach. But this is pretty much the length of their investigation. This public statement. So, according to the information received, their apparent goal was to infect websites and servers, malware for phishing campaign, malware distribution, and other malicious activity. So that would have probably been like credit card stuffing, making sure that if you were going to buy something, you buy it from a fake site, so they can obviously gather your credentials. As we continue to monitor the behavior and block the criminal organization, we are actively collecting evidence and informing regarding tactics and techniques to help law enforcement. We apologize for any inconvenience caused. We are using the lessons from this incident to enhance our security of our systems and further protect our customers. That's perfectly fine. They can obviously, you can't really be 100% on cybersecurity all the time, because cybersecurity is a ever-changing landscape. So, I wanted to bring this up here. So they filled out a 10K form. So this is a legal requirement in the US that they have to fill this form out, which basically goes over the breach and the certain level of details. So, having a look at their 10K form, and I want to focus on this paragraph here. So, we experience cybersecurity incidents, and any of our perceived breach of our security could expose us to risk of loss of litigation, blah 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 blah. Basically saying that because they are a hosting provider, they provide a service. If the service gets breached, then they can be applicable to damage control. So, for example, in March 2022, we discovered a threat actor compromised the hosting login credentials of roughly 28,000 customers, as well as the login credentials of a small number of our personnel. So that wasn't just the customers that lost their hosting accounts. Personnel accounts at GoDaddy were also lost. These hosting login credentials did not provide access to the hosting customer's main GoDaddy account. We have spent resources investigating and responding to this activity, and we notified the customers. The timing and resolution and the outcome of this matter are uncertain. What do you mean? That you wasn't keeping track of the breach? You wasn't keeping track of who was remediating this? In November 2021, using a compromised password, an unauthorized third party accessed the provisioning system in our legacy code base for our managed WordPress instances, which impacted up to 1.2 million active and inactive managed WordPress customers across multiple GoDaddy brands. Wow. 1.2 million active and inactive accounts. That is a lot of accounts. If they were inactive, then why were they still holding on to them? Probably because they want to send them some email down the line saying, did you forget about us? Here's 50% off to restart your WordPress instance. So we reported the managed WordPress instance to the applicable regulatory authorities and have responded to inquiries from customers, strategic partners, regulators, and the media. The timing of a resolution on this matter is uncertain. So yet again, they had a breach in March 2022, and the timing of the resolution and outcome was uncertain. They had a breach in November 2021, and the timing of the resolution and the outcome of this matter are uncertain again. So you've had two breaches a year apart from each other, and the resolution and outcome you didn't investigate further because it's uncertain. This is unacceptable. If anybody uses GoDaddy past this incident here, then they really should be thinking how they're going to proceed. Okay, the next step. December 2022. An unauthorized third party gained access to and installed malware onto the cPanel hosting services. We've already gone through this, so I'm not going to go over about the redirection stuff. But based on our investigation, so starting from here, based on our investigation, we believe that the incidents are part of a multi-year campaign by the threat group. To date, these incidents, as well as other cyber attacks, have not resulted in any material adverse impact to our business or operation. Well, clearly, because you've had 2-3 breaches in the last 3 years, and it doesn't seem that they hurt you financially, so you just continue as normal. To detect them, in case of future incident, a history of past incidents such as those mentioned here may increase the higher sanctions or investigations be reinvigorated. In short, they're saying here that because they failed to adapt and overcome the 2 breaches before this one, that they are seeing that there may likely be a higher risk for them to receive a sanction or to reopen investigation into the past instances, because as you can see here, they never had a resolution to the past breaches, so there was nothing that they could learn from to move forward on. So it looks like they've pretty much been burying their heads in the sand. But yeah, I would just like to get your thoughts on this. GoDaddy, please do better. You've had way more chances to clean up your act. So I wanted to finish off this talk about GoDaddy to remember. I haven't been really fond of GoDaddy since they came out and said that they support SOPA. So if people don't remember what SOPA was back in the day, was basically a Stop Online Piracy Act and the Protect IP Act. So SOPA and PIPA were like 2 laws that they were going to pass through, but it basically gave companies more robust laws when it came to copyright infringement, known as piracy. And it was just an outrageous thing that obviously no company in the US thought that, like Google, Reddit, Mozilla, all these companies just thought that this was absolutely ridiculous and that it was nothing that they could stand behind. But GoDaddy thought it was a great idea. So they first started by saying that they were going to support it. And then after people started moving their domains away from GoDaddy, obviously causing financial impact, they then decided that, oh wait, we're actually not going to support it. And this just shows how as soon as you start hurting a company financially, then that's when they'll make changes. So we need to make sure that GoDaddy realizes that cybersecurity is a big topic and that they should take it seriously. They've had 3 breaches in the last 3 years. Yes, it is a sophisticated APT group that is trying to hurt them, but every single business has these types of attacks, and that they need to spend more money on their security. That is me for today. I hope that you find this video pretty informative. Just going back in the day, talking about SOPA and PIPA. If you do find this video informative, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.